Alright, good morning. We're going to start off where we left off last class. Okay. So these are really short notes with a good amount of, or decent amount of practice for you to do. So two quick things that we need to take care of. Alright, so graphing linear equations. So you're able to find the slope, and given a y-intercept, you can write the equation in y equals mx plus b form. Okay, so to write an equation when you're given a point and a slope, you need to plug it in and solve for b. Alright, so what we're going to use, alright, this says solve for b, right? So there's actually two ways of doing this. I'm actually going to show you both very quickly. First way is to take y equals mx plus b. You have a slope, you have a y value and an x value, and you can solve for b, right? The other way, which is up here, you're using point slope formula, right? So given a point slope formula is y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. Both of these are just as effective at finding that. Alright, so let's go ahead and get to it. So let's go ahead and use the first way, using b here. So we're using y equals mx plus b. So I have a y, which is equal to 1. I have my m, which is equal to 2, my x, which is equal to 4, and then plus b. And we can solve for the b by having 1 is equal to 8 plus b. Subtract 8 from both sides. And now we have b is equal to negative 7. Plug it back in to the equation. Y is equal to m, which is 2, x plus or minus, in this case, 7. Alright, so, or we can use the other way of doing it, which, if you just look at this, this is the slope formula. M is equal to the change in y over change in x, right? Same thing. Except we multiply the denominator over. So if you look at it, that's the quick way to remember the formula. So y is equal to, well, we have y1, which is the same thing as 1. So it's minus 1 is equal to my slope of 2. And then x, and then minus 4 in this case. Okay, so I have y is equal to 1, distribute 2x minus 8. And then we have, this is a minus 1, I keep putting an equal sign there. So we have to add 1, so then we end up with y is equal to 2x minus 7. You don't have to plug it back in. Both ways are effective at doing this. So you can choose which way you like. If you just like substituting back in, that's fine. So let's do a second one. I'm going to do a substitution method here. So we have y, which is equal to 4, is equal to my slope, which is 1/2, times x, which is 2, plus b. Solve for b. My 2's cancel out. That leaves me with 1 here. So I have to subtract 1, so b is equal to 3. And now I just write it in. Y is equal to slope, which is 1/2 x, plus 3. Alright, so that's how you do those. So you guys can work on the rest of page 8, page 9, and then, let's say, page 10, I'm going to give you these notes right here. Okay, so writing a linear equation, right? So we got to use slope formula, and then we have a slope and a point, which we just did, which we can solve. Remember the slope formula, m is equal to, I'm just going to write it as change in y over change in x, because that's what we do. And then we're just going to plug it into the formula. You can plug it into either one that we just had. Y is equal to mx plus b and solve for b, or you could plug it into y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. I'll use the first one up here. That's the one you're familiar with. Okay, so we got to find our slope m here. Changing y to go from 7 to negative 1. We're going down, so it's negative 8 spaces. And then negative 3 to 1 is up 4 spaces, so my slope is equal to negative 2. Having that, I could pick either point, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter which point I pick. I'm picking this one with the 1s. So y is negative 1 is equal to my slope of negative 2 times my x1 plus b. So this is negative 2. This is negative 1. This is a plus b. So if I add 2 to both sides, b is equal to 1. So now I can write my equation. Y is equal to my slope of negative 2, x plus 1. Okay, let's do one more. So first thing I got to do, given 2 points, is find my slope, m. Changing y to go from negative 7 to negative 4, it's actually going up 3 spaces. To go from negative 6, I'm going up to 3, that's 9 spaces. So this is actually 1/3. So now I can pick either point. Okay, I'm going to pick the second point. Negative 4 is equal to 1/3 times 3 plus b. Okay, so the 3's cancel out. So I'm left with 1 here, and I got to subtract 1, so that's going to make that negative 5 is equal to b. So now I can write my equation. Y is equal to my m, which we found was 1/3, times ex, which we are going to make a variable, minus 5, which is my intercept. Probably should start boxing my answers. Let's box this one. Alright guys, you can do the rest of this page. Just follow the same steps, same rules. So you can do page 10, page 11, and now page 12 is a review of the things we covered. Right? So finding the slope, y-intercept, write the equation, slope at a point, 2 points, and write that. So this is just a quick check-in. When we come back on Thursday, you will have a quiz. Have a great afternoon.